Ladies and gentlemen, there is a municipality in the Northwest which is the future of South Africa because the ANC and the EFF are sort of trying to run it together. They don't have a coalition, but as you will see from this particular story, it's an absolute nightmare. Byron, you're an Englishman, you're a colonizer. What is the name of this municipality again?
Nice try. Nice try. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it. It is a decolonized name. Off you go, mate. You're the African in the room.
Let me do it for you. It's called Ditsobotla. There we go. Say it now.
Municipality in the Northwest.
Right. Anyway, it's a real decolonized municipality. Byron, what the hell is going on there?
Well, this municipality was really proud of itself because it actually managed to get a first EFF major victory. I mean, obviously the EFF got 26% of the vote. That means they've actually got more votes than the DA in this municipality. And they were all like, yay, it's the ANC and the EFF. They all joined together. They got their 50%. They said that would go forward. And would you know it? Did it work? No, it didn't. So what was the EFF's first order of business? Well, they boycotted all of the local elections. In other words, all of the elections to vote councillors to key positions didn't happen. And actually, the IEC said in all their 20-something years in that province, they have never seen the level of disruption that they saw at the local sitting. And so obviously, they still haven't elected an actual council, thanks to the EFF. Now, the EFF claims the reason for that is because the municipal administrator was an ANC individual, and they're saying that he is now there irregularly because he shouldn't actually be there. Problem is, you actually need his position to conduct the votes. And so all of the other political parties have unofficially agreed, and they've basically all said, we'll agree to him presiding over the votes, and then obviously once he gets votes, we have the new votes, he'll be gone, and we'll install the new guy. And the EFF says, no, that's not going to happen, because he's not meant to be there, he must leave. And as everybody else rightly points out, well then how do you do the vote? Because he has to be there to do the vote. So the EFF did what they do best. And for those of you who have ever watched Parliament, you've all be very familiar with the point of order, and that's pretty much all that's happened. So the IEC even says, impossible to install a municipal council. As a result, this bankrupt municipality is unable to actually get a board together.
Yeah, so there was a meeting that was supposed to be held on the 22nd of December to nominate the new councillors and the mayor and the speaker. The EFF disrupted that. Then it was postponed till the 28th of December. The EFF didn't allow that to happen either. So this municipality, after how many months after local government elections, still has no mayor, no speaker, no treasurer, no council members, nothing, because the EFF are just full of nonsense, which is really interesting because this is the same municipality that famously lost Clover. Clover had a huge cheese factory, and 2 years ago, Clover shut down because there's no services going to it. There's no water, there's hardly any tar on the roads, there's rubbish everywhere. You can't make cheese in such conditions. And back then, the Northwest government was, all afraid and said, no, we will fix it. Nothing has happened. So, in essence, the ANC and the EFF in this particular municipality, it really is a glimpse into the future with the potential ANC-EFF coalition. They're not in coalition here, but they are the two majority parties in this particular place. So that's why the story is so important. And if that wasn't bad enough, a few people went on a bit of a rampage.
Yeah, so I mean, it's important to recognize that as Ramona said, they aren't in coalition, but they kind of are. They're the two main parties. They're the ones that will all vote together on key issues in order to get budgets passed, in order to get their people passed, in order to get their agendas passed. And the EFF very famously said, well, this is their opportunity, their time to shine and to show what an EFF municipality would look like. They said that in the press, and they were very keen to be like, yay, this is the EFF's moment. And the EFF's moment has led to, well, EFF behavior, which is lots of points of order and nothing else actually happening in the municipality whatsoever. In fact, the municipality, which is bankrupt, an ANC municipality that's bankrupt, that's a first. But the ANC municipality that has no money can't even afford a venue in order to conduct the actual voting. And they were donated a venue in order to use for the purposes of doing the voting. And the EFF said, no, we're not going there either. So as you can see, they can't even agree on the venue, they can't agree on the times, they can't agree on the people. The processes to follow, the governance processes, they can't agree on that. And as a result, well, nothing's happening. All the contractors are getting annoyed because the contractors are now going without money. They've got contracts that need to be extended or renewed. The contractors aren't actually getting the services that they themselves need in order to provide the services that they are being contracted to do. They're not getting paid because there's no budget being passed. And so the actual contractors that work on behalf of the municipality are, in a South African word, gatvol. And being gatvol They went into the municipal offices, grabbed all of the paperwork of everybody's municipal bills, all of their paperwork on filings, fines, and everything else, went outside into the streets and basically threw the paperwork all over the streets, which is basically everybody's private individual data, which I think is a violation of POPI, if I'm not mistaken, but also means that the municipality has absolutely no way whatsoever of tracking who actually owes them any money.
Yeah, let us not forget that this municipality has no digitized document solutions, right? It's all manual paper. Because always remember, what did you use before paper? The computer. But under ANC rule, you go backwards, not forwards. But don't worry, the media statement has been released by the MEC for someone in the Northwest, some shit show I don't know about. And it says it is very unfortunate that the contract workers have destroyed every piece of paper belonging to the municipality and that behavior will not be tolerated. So there we go, Byron. A bit of consequences. One suspects by someone who doesn't give a shit whatsoever. I mean, we need to understand the contract has destroyed everything. IDs, company registration certificates, rate certificates, everything a municipality needs to actually run its business is no longer there. The municipality doesn't have a mayor, doesn't have a speaker. The EFF refuses to appoint or to take part in council procedures. Welcome to ANC/EFF rule working together, in inverted commas. This is the future of South Africa, if this turns out the way we think it can.
And it's joyous because nobody's ever going to have to pay a municipal bill ever again because they'll lose your bill. Like, at the end of the day, oh, well, any of that debt you think you've got, it's disappearing, isn't it?
But that's the key here. People always say we have bad news stories. This is a great news story. This is a fantastic news story. ANC-EFF coalition can't work by any means. They just destroy everything. So you can just live quite well in that area. You never have to pay rates ever again. You don't have to pay for electricity. You never have to pay for water. You don't have to care about the cops like pulling you over for fines. It's like pure anarchy, and we agree with that.
And they're all like, they'll expropriate your property. Mate, they don't even know you got property. They lost your paperwork. Like, they don't know where they're going. Like, is that yours? Oh, I didn't know. Anyway, I want to focus on that actual MEC Molai. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. It's decolonized name. But anyway, the individual wrote as an MEC. He wrote through and he said, as you rightly said, he condemned the incident. Now, there's a few things that as professionals in this environment, we become very used to seeing. So there's a few things I want to pull out. The first is he says it was unfortunate that workers reacted in that manner. Isn't it always interesting how they use this language? Unfortunate. Like they killed your entire municipality. But it's unfortunate, isn't it? It's unfortunate when I burn my toast. It's not unfortunate when someone burns my house down. Like that's like you can use stronger terms there, but obviously they're only use stronger terms because these are their voting parties, Next thing he says is that what we've done is we've called for stricter security measures. The whole reason PRAS has got a problem is because it cancelled the security contracts, and with no security there, all the rail tracks got stolen. And it's like, okay, we're going to call for stricter security measures. To guard what? There's nothing left, mate. It's all gone. You're going to guard an empty filing cabinet. Like, it's a bit late, isn't it? But again, this is the ANC. Like, we'll bring in the cops now. Like, for what? Everyone's dead. Like, tell them to go home.
Yeah, but look at the language even further. It's unfortunate. So, i.e., it's like just, a mistake that happened. And to prevent it from happening further, we will bring in security. So, like, basically, if you are a woman who's assaulted, you're going to just wear longer dresses. And it's just a mistake that you were assaulted. There's no evil in the world. People just, it just happens. It's like stubbing your toe on a piece of furniture. Like, it happens. Next time I'll just wear socks. Like, no, there's evil in the world. These people are it. You take action in terms of punishing them for perpetuating evil, and hopefully it never happens again. You don't just act like it's a mistake, because it's certainly not.
Yeah, I mean, the letter goes on further. It says, we will not tolerate this kind of behavior, be it from officials, councillors, or members of the public. Well, but you do, mate, right up and down the country. So we all know that's a blatant lie. And he says, we will bring in law enforcement agencies to enforce law and order. And this is the key point. When necessary. It was necessary prior to the events occurring. You didn't call him in. What are you going to call him in for now? It's not like you know who did it. Like, no one's getting prosecuted. Like, when necessary. It's kind of like going, oh, well, loads of people here died, next time we'll call in the police if we need to. Like, they're all dead, mate. There's no point calling anyone now. Call a morgue.
It's a bit like calling the army in 2 weeks after the peaceful protest has ended. Oh, wait, that did happen.
I love this country. Come on, guys. If you could also think, oh, this is terrible. Like the States is just falling apart. This is the best news ever. Do you remember in Fight Club, the whole principle of Fight Club was like destroy all of the world banks and reset the economies. And like the guy sat there at the end, like watching the banks all blowing up, knowing everybody's credit record was going down the tube and that. And it was like the anarchist dream. Like we're living it. It's not even a story for us. It just happened in this municipality. Everything's gone. Like it's reset. What a great story.
Exactly. And we didn't have to sabotage anything. We don't have to plan to sabotage anything. It just happens functionally because we live in Africa. And that's the best part. So let us know down in the comment below. Is this a good news story or are you really upset and want to move to New Zealand? Those are the only two options you have. Thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers.